Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Coming up here early on in 2025, we are going to see a new major update roll out for Black Ops 6 and Warzone. This should, in theory, be the 1.65 title update or some title update. They may update the number and add new things to it in the coming days, but a new major download required update is coming to Black Ops 6 multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone, and we already have a pretty significant amount of information regarding what this update is going to include from a gameplay change standpoint. We're talking bug fixes, gameplay updates, all things of that nature. This update is also going to include several bits of content. The Squid Game crossover is happening here as well, but across the board, Call of Duty's previewed a lot of what's to come in terms of gameplay changes, and today I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an early sneak peek as to what to expect for some of the upcoming major patch notes. So diving right in here, this update should be dropping on January 3rd. That's when all the marketing is set up for it. That's when the Squid Game crossover is happening, and that should require a full-on major download, so a new title update in full. And initially here, we actually got a bit of a preview from Raven the other day detailing some larger updates for Warzone, which is pretty exciting here. So we do have some more specific details on exact bug fixes and different changes coming up momentarily, but Raven gives us a nice rundown of some major things to expect. So they talk a little bit about how the anti-cheat improvements are coming in season 2 and 3, sort of reiterate that they're still working with Ricochet to update that, but they also detail all of this, which is pretty interesting. So they say, we are continuing to prioritize server performance and enhancing game stability across the board. That first and foremost is huge. I've said it before. You can have the world's greatest patch notes, so many bug fixes, perfectly balanced meta. Doesn't matter if the servers suck and you can't experience the fixes and the changes and the better gameplay and the better gunplay because you're lagging or there's desync and it's just a mess, right? So servers and performance there and stability there has to be atop the priorities alongside cheaters, of course. But server performance updates and stability updates are inbound. Something tells me in the patch notes we're gonna get various stability fixes, and I will lose my mind. We have also prepared key updates to movement for increased fluidity and resolved numerous issues with perks and challenges. So in this update, we're also going to see adjustments to core movement, likely to resolve some of that clunkiness that we've been talking about as of late. Also various issues with perks. Personally, I'm Prestige Master, like level 200 something. There's like 4 perks I still can't use because they're locked by default on the menu. So there's a lot of issues with that inherently, but also certain perks just not working. Dexterity gives you like 3 meters of extra fall damage, which is irrelevant. It doesn't actually work for the movement benefits. A bunch of issues like that. Challenge is not tracking in various updates there. Players can expect faster mantle speeds. That's huge. Rebalanced perks. Excited to see what happens there. Combat records and the ability to close doors while running, which should definitely improve the overall feel of engagement. So just helping with fluidity and interaction with the world. Additionally, we are addressing concerns with the reviving mechanics as well. There's a lot of bugs and glitches where you can't actually revive a player. You can't get revived by your team in certain cases. Huge bugs, right? Game-breaking issues there that they're looking into as well. So just based off their first paragraph here, a lot of very promising updates. Again, priority number one's got to be these server updates. These have to be good for these to actually be fun and noticeable and, you know, have a better impact on the game. They also say on the investigative side, we are closely examining reported audio inconsistencies, so we're going to see even more significant audio updates eventually. Lighting and visibility concerns across the board. I think this would probably impact all maps, so that's a big thing as well. Keyboard and mouse functionality. There's been a lot of concern here with consistency, certain binds not working, and a lot of issues there. Irregular UAV behavior and discrepancies with contracts on the TAC map. So some smaller, some larger bug fixes there. Many of these improvements will ship shortly after the holidays. So not necessarily every single thing encompassed here is coming on January 3rd with this major update, the 1.65 update presumably, but a lot of these will be. So those patch notes certainly sound promising based off their descriptions here. Of course, though, we can't really do anything other than hope for them to be good. We're going to have to see if they actually make an impact, you know, once they are fully live. But certainly some things that we've been complaining about a lot so far being addressed here, which is inherently good news. But like I said, we also have even more specifics detailed on the Trello boards as well. So as we do jump over there, quick reminder, if you are new to the channel, every single day I got you covered with all the need to know information for COD. If there's good news, if there's bad news, anything in between, the latest info is always right here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date. Join us on the road to 1 million, trying to hit that goal here in 2025. And of course, if you enjoyed this video as well, a like rating is seriously appreciated. Really helps share the video around and grow the channel. So here on the Warzone Trello, admittedly, this is a little bit more underwhelming than the Black Ops 6 general Trello, where we have a lot more information, but a couple of things are still being investigated here. Some pretty important ones, all things considered. We've got issues still with the body shield not being fully available in ranked play because there were exploits with that. Hopefully that's countered and you can bring that mechanic back to rank play in specific. But then just general gameplay here, couple of different things. There's a card here that lists a couple of very specific things. Ladders not working correctly. When you jump off a ladder, you always pull a parachute. Sometimes you can't loot things, you can't revive players, as we mentioned in that tweet, so that should be addressed there. Buy station inconsistency with the cost of items is another thing they're looking into. Plates being picked up. Issues with the survivor perk where you can't revive a teammate, again mentioned in that tweet from Raven there. Certain things with keyboard and mouse not being able to switch to certain binds there. Issues where you're not spectating the right team. If you get taken out, you should spectate the team that takes you out. Instead, it forces you on some random team, so that is a bug. They'll be fixing that. Can't loot items on the ground. Armor plate issues still, so quite a few things here that have been bugged for some time should be addressed here in the near future. But like I said, the Black Ops 6 Trello is really where we see a bulk of the confirmed updates. So here you can see a lot of these little yellow flares which have fixes scheduled, meaning these should all be updated in this next major title update. So they are investigating a handful of things in the global issues tab. Players being returned to the lobby when you claim Archie's Festival Frenzy rewards, like small thing there, might be updated, but it's still being investigated. High mantling speed is slower than intended though, fixed schedule. They addressed this in that Raven tweet, and this will also impact multiplayer and zombies alike. They also have a fix scheduled for, in rare instances, the next bullet fired from a weapon after using the Archangel launcher can be an Archangel rocket. You get one free rocket out of your, rifle, right? A funny bug, but a bug nonetheless. So that has a fixed schedule. That'll be updated here. There's various other things they are still investigating. These have been on the Trello for some time. If you're an active viewer here on the channel, you probably recognize a couple of these, right? Like, for instance, medal and level notifications not showing up in hardcore. Some killer calling card challenges not tracking progress correctly. Other things like that that have been here for some time may get fixed, may not. They don't have that fixed scheduled flare. Zombies has a ton of fixes scheduled. These zombies patch notes of this update are going to be crazy. So they've got fixes scheduled for all of this stuff here, basically, outside of sometimes you lose ammo in your weapon when you swap there or apply armor plates. But fixes scheduled for Terminus. Players respawn by progressing around timeout Gobblegum during the final encounter. Can't see the boss's health bar. Craft can sometimes speak to players before they interact with them in Citadel. Melee weapons are unable to open one of the locks on the Pack-a-Punch container. Players can sometimes be unable to pick up the lightning rod in Citadel. Elemental sword damage in Citadel may be decreased if you have the void sheath augment. Activating the timeout Gobblegum during the final encounter can respawn eliminated players in the starting area and then auto down them. That'd be an hilariously annoying bug. Special round effects have a chance not to be disabled when entering the final encounter in Citadel. The light ritual mirrors can occasionally not be interacted with. Wisps in the light challenge for the Mystic Orb in Citadel can freeze sometimes. Main quest progress may not be saved when picking up the Mystic Orb. Basically a lot of Citadel bugs and glitches here if you haven't picked up on the trend. Saving and quitting before speaking to Craft in Citadel can prevent the main story progression. Players are unable to parry an Amalgam's grab with the sword in Citadel. Vermin can sometimes hit twice with one attack, and then various different prestige calling cards. Prestige 6, 7, 8, 10 all have calling cards that aren't working correctly either as of now, but again, fixes scheduled for these. Those patch notes should have mentions for all of that. So kind of an early preview for several patch notes coming here. Of course, as we get any new announcements for the update itself, any new details there, or once the patch notes are fully out, this is the place to be to stay up to date with all of that stuff. So feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. And if you enjoyed this video, a like rating on your way out would be seriously appreciated. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day. I'll catch you later. Peace out.